Waves has released a channel strip.
That's nothing special.
Waves has released a tube channel strip.
Still not really special.
So let's find out if there's something which makes this Magma Tubes Channel Strip worth checking out. This plugin is pretty bare bones. There isn't that much to dial in, but still offers basically everything you'd expect from a channel strip, like the all-important drive dials, phase switch, EQ section with high pass filter, and dynamics which offer compression, expansion and gate. All of these dials are mostly one setting where you simply dial up or down to get the result you want. This simplistic approach doesn't have to be bad, but if you really want to fine-tune, let's say, compression, this plugin isn't for you. Now, the main selling point of the Magma Channel Strip is the word tube. This plugin screams to use the big drive dial. When you turn this dial up, the harmonics increase, when you get into saturation. If you crank it, you get into tube distortion. Which you can find in guitar amps, but it's not something you normally be after in a preamp. The Magma Channel Strip absolutely thickens your audio. Check the next example. I made sure the loudness is the same and there's no other processing happening in the channel strip. That thickening sound is somewhat caused by the low-end bump this plugin has in default, which is about 1.5 decibel boost of the entire low end. When you turn down the bass dial with 1.5 decibel to get a sort of a linear frequency behavior, the difference will be like this. The effect is way more subtle, but still there is some thickening happening. You made it so far in the video, please make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest new cool plugins and hardware. This video is made possible by DistroKid. Did you know that DistroKid released a very fun book for audio production? It has few words and lots of fun graphics, which makes it ideal for children and bass players. Sorry, I mean musicians, because haha, cool images. Like DAW, a computer program that records music, and Jack. A jack is where we plug in cables. Find the link to the book in the description, just as a link for 7% off of your first year on DistroKid. Now, turning up the drive will increase harmonics up to the point of saturation, and distortion if you really push it, and it does this to the sound. Increasing the drive will increase low end and you get this frequency curve. If we check the harmonics, you also see how this all gets increasingly more and more. Now, to let you hear the effects of these added harmonics, here's this sine wave at 250 Hz. Sine waves are the most boring sounding waveforms. It's just one frequency. This happens when I increase drive and with that the harmonics. You hear this boring sine wave getting more rich and more interesting to listen to. You can even see the harmonics being added. So saturation with a proper preamp adds something to audio, making it richer in a musical way or a non-musical way. With the Waves Magma Tube Channelstrip, this is tube harmonics, which are second order harmonics, and these are generally seen as musical and pleasing sounding. Saturation with proper preamps also has the added benefit of premixing audio. With that I mean when you drive audio into saturation, peaks in audio get compressed in a way, more like limiting while also adding harmonics. With this vocal, after I rendered the Magma Channelstrip, you can see that these peaks are reduced quite a bit, purely by driving them into saturation. You can also hear it. The saturation sounds more evened out already, and obviously it has a more richer, thicker sound.
Hold on tight, we'll take the lead. 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 Hold on tight, we'll take the lead.
From here I would actually add compression and EQ to make it pop. What is interesting, maybe even special, is that the EQ of this plugin feeds into the tube and is not placed after. This means that the EQ will affect the sound of the saturation. This will give you a very interesting palette of sound sculpting options. Turning up the fixed low-end shelf, which drives into saturation, is very different than a simple low-end boost. Same for the fixed high-end shelf. The mid band is sweepable though, over a wide range. The dynamics section is very capable. I only don't understand why the gate is set after the drive. Before would have been more effective. At least it sounds like it's after. The default compression is pretty sweet with its one dial with a sort of 1176 style of attack and release. It's not the fastest attack, which brings out a nice snap. Smash does exactly what it says. It really smashes audio. Obviously, this has a very fast attack. The default setting of the compressor looks like to have a ratio of 2:1-ish with a very soft knee. When you use the smash setting, this is more 3:1 with a slightly harder knee. Knee means how aggressive or smooth the compression kicks in. This new member of the Magma Tubes family by Waves is, in my opinion, very capable and good sounding. Like I said before in this video, if you need something which offers you more control, this plugin isn't for you. For quick dialing in of sound, broad strokes and sculpting audio, with a very obvious tube sound, go check this one out. The Waves Magma BB tubes will give you this tube saturation as well, and another flavor of saturation. It is great when you only want saturation and not a channel strip. My video on it is displayed on screen and linked in the description below.